Hello everyone and welcome. In this session we're going to talk about object-oriented programming using C#. Okay, and I've decided to build a simple guessing game for this, and I named it version 1.0 because we're not going to put as many restrictions to this game. And let's go ahead and take a look at the rules that will involve in this game. So in our next slide we have the rules that we're going to apply to this game, and the first one says if the user will have an X number of chances to guess a number between 1 and 10. So we can define that X to be whatever number you'd like. So let's say you want to give 3 tries to the user to guess a number between 1 and 10, 5 tries and so on. We'll leave that open to you. The next rule says if the user's guess is lower than the number in mind, then prompt the message, please guess higher. So we're going to generate a random number that we're going to compare that to the user's guess. And if they are lower on the guess, then we're going to say please guess higher. And vice versa. If the user's guess is greater than the number in mind, then we're going to say please guess lower. And if the user guesses correctly, or if the user guesses right, then we're going to say congratulations, good job, whatever we would like. Okay. So here are the simple rules to build our game. And before in this game, or while building this game, you will learn how to set up a function, pass a parameter to a function, receive and return a value. And the main purpose of this exercise is actually how to build a custom class, set up the properties of that class, methods of that class, and how to reach to those properties and methods and go back and forth. Okay, now before we get into Microsoft Visual Studio, that's the platform we're going to use to build our simple game, I wanted to talk about assemblies and namespaces. Okay, since we're going to build our class, our custom class, within the default namespace that it sets up for us, and when we create a new project in MS Studio, I wanted you guys to know what assemblies and namespaces are. So when we talk about namespaces, when we talk about assemblies, we're talking about binary files, so DLLs, executable files. Now assemblies are a new type of format, and they do not rely on the registry like they used to, so it's less confusion, it goes faster as well. Okay. Now, what are namespaces? So namespaces are a set of classes. Okay, a bunch of classes together create a namespace. Okay, so it says is a package that contains classes. Okay. Now to build our own custom class, we're going to set that within the default namespace that the project gives us. Okay. Now what are classes? So a class is a blueprint to create an object. Okay. So a class is a blueprint to create an object. Now what are objects? An object of a class is actually an instance of that class. After an object is created, then the object can use the properties and methods of that class. Okay, so pretty much the example that's been taken out there that you will see a lot is the cookie cutter and the cookie. So the cookie cutter being the class and the cookie being the object. Just like the cookie cutter, as they say, can shape the cookie any way it wants, it's the same, the class can shape the object any way it wants. So the object can use the properties and the methods of that class, and so on and so forth. So if you want to get more into classes, go ahead and search online for what classes are and what objects are, but we're going to use those in this exercise, and hopefully we'll get a much better understanding on how to apply them. So let's go ahead and see our final version of our game, and then we'll go ahead and create that in Microsoft Visual Studio.